Summercamp Music Festival, May 26th and 27th. Wake the Farm Up, featuring Liz Virgo, your host Andy the Elf, and Tom Wall, Bear, and Sequoia.
What you gonna do? You know what to do. What you gonna do?
What if you could save all the forests in the world, all the farms in the world, all the prairies in the world, all the savannas in the world, all the microclimates in the world, all the people in the world, and you can make it so there could be twice as many people and you weren't worried about the population? What if you could do that? What would you do? What would you do? What would you do if you had all the followers you could ever want? You had all the friends you could ever want. You had everything you could ever want. And everyone did. All the trees had everything they could ever want. The flowers had everything they could ever want. The bugs, the bees, the birds, the trees. Even the breeze has what it wants. What would you do? What would you do? All you had to do was support and encourage others. You didn't have to compete with them. You didn't have to be the best podcaster. You already knew that you were. You didn't have to be the best writer in the world. You already knew that you were. You didn't have to be the best guitar player in the world. You already knew that you were. You didn't have to be the best anything. You already knew that you were the best at you. What you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do now? Welcome to these recordings. Something to think about. Skip around, tune in.
But that's SoulPatch. Yeah. Wake the farm up.
Down the taper section. Wake the farm up. Hi, I'm so glad you made it here. SoulPatch, Summer Camp, recorded May 26th and 27th. We're going into What's for Dinner. We're going to talk with the Foraging Bear, and actually having a conversation with a 3,000-year-old Sequoia tree, all at Summercamp Music Festival in the SoulPatch. Yeah, we've been having fun, getting seriously funny. We've been getting into it, we've been getting out of it. You don't have to listen to it in order. Check the footnotes. There's links to where you can jump around in the show to different points. So enjoy, subscribe, leave a review.
Sirs, pardon me, I am so sorry.
We're so glad you were here. We are so happy that you're here.
Thank you, I
You
wasn't
made
back.
it. You made it.
Wake the farm up!
I have a dead bear that comes and hangs out during these podcast recordings sometimes. He was on our forest gardening and foraging convo earlier today. He had a lot to say about foraging. That's the cool thing. That's what makes that bear fat so good. They're out foraging every day.
Right.
They're not just like sitting in a cubicle, like sending emails and then ordering their groceries on Amazon.
I just can't even. I really used to be all into the grocery store and not into eating vegetables and not into foraged food or anything real healthy. I'm just like, I mean, I want the sweetest fruits, absolutely, but yeah, no, I was not into healthy foods and nutrition for a while, but. That concept of you are what you eat, it's like we hear it all the time and it just seems like it's just a phrase, but at some point it really, really sunk in and clicked in and it's like, oh my God, I am an entity whose organisms are made up, but like my cells are made of what I eat. And
Right.
I want it to be alive.
Our children are made out of like what we eat. Like we take. So, we gardeners, we like to take horse manure and things like that and put it into piles and then make children out of it. You want me to tell you how sometime? It's absolute earth magic. Absolute. There is some people down here that can tell you a lot about bees. And if you go in the forest during the morning when it's a little bit quieter tone, you might be able to hear the birds. And if you can hear the birds and the bees, you might get the whole situation there set up and figure out how that works.
Hey.
You know? That's how we got more chickens, because somebody figured that out. You know how many chickens? I think New York City eats over 1 million chickens a day.
Oh my God.
That's a lot of chickens in one day. That's what's for dinner for like 1 million of the people there. I mean, just think, they eat other stuff too. They eat other stuff.
Zero.
We got a guy out here that eats 0 chickens. Can we get a team on that cart, people? Can you check and make sure we need a chicken up here?
I want to
not
know
for him to
dinner.
eat, but like just like so we can hang out with this homie that don't eat him. Like it'll feel safe. We want people to feel safe.
Dinner? Come tell
Yeah, what's for dinner? Can we get no chicken, man? What's for dinner? Can we get some? What about chicken of the woods? We need some chicken of the woods. That ain't chicken, but it tastes like chicken. And I'll tell you what, it's a lot easier to process than
What's
popping
for
a
dinner,
bird's
man?
head off.
Come tell us.
Yeah, what's for dinner? Like, I mean, come on, don't be a chicken. Wait.
He can't be a chicken. You are what you eat, and he don't eat them.
Hey, you all out on the
What's
road.
for
You know
dinner?
why
What's
the
your
chicken?
name?
Wait, here, hold on a second. Hold on, we got people out on the road. They have an important question. Why did the chicken cross the road, you guys out there on the road? You're on the road, maybe you know.
What do we think?
Why did the chicken cross the road?
Come on.
You know what? Because they freaking built a road, and it was just trying to go over there to like check out like the Soulshine tent and like check out a show. So that's why. But all right, brother, tell us what your name is.
My name is Squash.
Squash is up here, and he don't eat no chicken. And I mean that's not the main thing we want to hear about. That's what led Squash up here. You know.
Well, you guys are asking me what I eat.
Yeah. Give us like your top 10, maybe.
Now I've been listening to what you guys been telling me about. Little hosta plant.
You eat hosta plants too?
Fucking love it.
Okay, yeah. See, like people
Little
like
violets.
this guy's like thriving. You can tell he's gonna be out here dancing. He didn't have to eat one of those chickens. He eats hostas. You know, like the deer be eating hostas. They wake up in the morning. They're ready to go dancing and jump over a fence, get away from a car, whatever they gotta do. Because they're out there eating the fresh stuff. They're keeping it like they're on schedule. They're in the flow. They flowers.
I'm a flower.
Have you ever had chicken of the woods, Squash?
I fucking love it.
Does it taste like chicken to you?
You know, regrettably it does.
Have you ever put your hands on dinosaur kale and touched it and like felt like what it feels like?
I only do that at night.
Do you feel like at night, especially, like our senses sometimes come out a little bit more, or at least our artistic expression of how we feel about them? Do you feel that dinosaur kale actually feels like dinosaur skin?
Yeah, actually, I think it's perfect.
Yeah. Were you there when dinosaurs were there to feel and touch so you can compare it?
I was actually last night when I took a huge rip of DMT.
That's incredible. See, we can channel things through like past, future, present. It's all here at the same time. So yeah, he was able to pet a dinosaur last night. And I do have to say that may have to do with not eating chickens. By not eating chickens, he might have been tapping into the dinosaur tribe a lot easier than us that may have been eating chickens. You know, we might tap into some other T-Rex shit or something. I don't know. You ever feel like T-Rex though? I mean, T-Rex would eat a chicken. I think he'd probably eat as many as New York City does in a day. To like, New York City with that 1 million chickens a day thing. I think one
T-Rex.
T-Rex.
T-Rex in the morning when I'm waking up. Like in Jurassic Park when it's like coming out of the egg.
Yeah. I love that. Like, I love when things come out of the eggs. Do you eat eggs? What about that? Like, you don't eat chickens, but you're gonna eat their eggs?
Never.
What? What about duck eggs?
Oh yeah,
That's different. Yeah. What about quail eggs?
No.
What about ostrich eggs? No, they're too expensive, huh? They're like $80 an egg or something like that.
I draw the line at the mallard.
With the mallard? Okay. So you just pull a mallard out, dip it in some ink, and just start drawing some lines with that thing? Like, what do you do to your birds, man? You're not, like, we just eat them, man. You're playing with them, dude. I think T-Rex probably would have done that too, though. With his little tiny arms, he's trying to, like, extend his arms with, like, some chickens or something hooked onto him and some mallards on the end so he can give hugs, I think that was T-Rex's biggest issue, right? He couldn't give hugs as easily as some of the other dinos.
Well, the mallards are better at it.
Mallards are way better at hugs.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
We appreciate you so much, Squash. Thanks for sharing a little bit about what's for dinner. I love that. I don't know.
Thank you.
Like, is there like anybody else that would like maybe want to share?
We got a question from the audience. I
got a question for the audience though, which is really important. Is there anybody here that's eaten like 3 or 4 chickens today? Like, I know some of you might have eaten like a little piece of a chicken or like ate a chicken with like 10 people or something. But like, are there people that like I know there's this guy that eats like 24 eggs a day and he eats like 3 chickens and he doesn't even cook them. It's strange. He like ferments them in his refrigerator and stuff.
Oh,
and
Lord.
There's this whole thing, There's this whole
man.
thing. It's like,
what's the question from the audience? We got a question from the audience.
is this going to be a recorded podcast is what the question was.
It is being recorded presently.
Yes, this is.
Yeah, wake the farm up.
You can subscribe, Wake the Farm Up. Yeah, this will all be out. It's not live stream, but it's live recorded. Kind of like your favorite Dead Bootleg 77 Cornell or something like that. You're like, that's not, you're listening to it. It's a live recording, but it's not, it wasn't live stream.
Yeah, wake the farm up.
Yeah.
Check us out.
Hey.
Yeah, leave us a rating. Leave us a review.
Have a good dinner. Find a couple snacks along the way out there.
Yeah. I think we probably will eat less chickens collectively as a festival than New York City tonight.
Well, I got a lot of my shit talking from eating shiitakes, and I know there's some shiitakes down here in the SoulPatch that are available for people to eat. If you want to be what you are, like you want to be what you eat and stuff like that. I like being like I have to talk a lot, so
yeah, you took a vow.
Talking a lot, I have to eat some shiitake once in a while just to like kick it up a notch, so like it doesn't get too like mundania.
Yeah, well,
I don't like my dinner to get mundane either, you know?
But I had I was really curious after we were talking to Squash. I'm like, did the chicken eat, which came first, the chicken or the chicken of the woods?
I don't know. I have chickens at home, and the scary thing for our homie out here, Squash, was that I've seen my chickens eat squash. Like, sometimes when I grow too many squash, like, I'll cut them in half and just throw them out there, and the chickens will eat every little piece of that squash.
Yeah, so
except
squash
the skin.
don't eat chicken, but chicken eats squash.
For some reason, they leave the skin. Like watermelon. You ever seen a chicken eat a watermelon?
They're like toddlers.
Teeny little.
with the skin.
Yeah, like, what's up with that? Watermelon's like the perfect fruit if you eat the seeds. They're trying to take that away from us. What's for dinner? Sometimes when it's hot, it might just be a watermelon. You eat the whole thing. You eat the seed. You eat the fruit. You eat the green part. You're getting your greens. We were talking about eating our greens, right?
Eating the rainbow.
Yeah.
You got red.
Yeah,
those
those
red, white, green. Oh, snap.
And those watermelon
You have a
seeds.
yellow watermelon.
Those seeds are so high in protein too. I know you like proteins in those dinners.
Protein.
They also high in zinc, which is good for our immune systems, and it's also turns out to be one of the best things for men's prostates. And in America here, people are like, yeah, men's prostate's kind of like an issue. So why don't we take out the medicine for it for the people and like remove the seeds from the watermelon? Nobody likes to spit.
That's kind of our whole jam, right? As a nation, like, there's all this medicine, kill it.
Yeah, let's spray the dandelion. It's trying to offer us some nutrients. Quick, kill it. We must make it look like only grass exists here, and that make it look like the sheep have been grazing on it. And,
Must
but we
turn-
don't have them. We don't have any
Must
sheep.
have little white pills. Must
Little,
have.
yeah, please make us little white pills in a factory.
Please make supplements. Don't eat vegetables. Take supplement.
Yeah, what's for dinner ain't supplements.
Oh, I gave up. I already told you I gave up on supplements. I've been learning about the herbs, learning about like Nettle's got everything I need. Goodbye to all the supplements.
Bye 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 bye.
Yeah, I used to have like the whole thing. Go to the chiropractor because that's where I go for my supplements because I'm a weirdo.
The chiropractor, yeah. The chiropractors love their supplements.
Chiropractors are weirdos. I like them.
Yeah,
they
cracking
do their little
people.
muscle testing. Like they're like, okay, put your arm out. Here's some supplements. I'm like, what's this got to do with my back? But yes.
Yeah, well, like, when you gonna fix my back? Because I'm wondering what's for dinner, and I'm not eating dinner with my back like this. So crack that back and send me on back so I can eat dinner.
No, man. But the chiropractor's the one who, definitely the chiropractor got me started on the nutrition stuff. Man,
Cool.
when that
Nice.
chiropractor turned me on, told me my back kept hurting, and there was no cracking it out. They're like, it's inflammation from eating sugar and gluten.
Inflammation.
I was like, I don't believe you.
Yeah, inflammation is a word that
Now.
covers a lot of ailments that we experience from our food.
Got pirates walking by. Arr.
Ahoy! Have you got scurvies yet? We can help you out there. What's for dinner?
Have some pine needles there.
Very high in vitamin C and MSM, which will help your connective tissue, so you can dance longer and recover from it in the morning and dance longer again. Dancing's so fun. Some people like, I want to go to the gym, right? Tell me about that. Like I want to go dancing. Like, you move all those bodily parts, jumping over logs, and like. You know.
Well, that's why I like it all. I mean, I'm not really a gym person. I'm a yogi, but I love how
Yo.
when I do the yoga and then I like go foraging and I'm like, I can reach that pawpaw now.
Oh yeah.
I would have never been able to reach. Oh, I can step over this tree.
I like how foraging does bring those natural movements to our
Yes.
body. Like, you're picking wild blackberries, and there's that one blackberry that's just like slightly out of reach, and you're just stretching and pulling and like holding that pose, like, and you get it, and it's the best one ever. It's like,
You know how to stretch your
wow.
serratus anterior just a little bit longer, and you.
Yeah, I mean, like when you're in a grocery store and you're trying to reach something on the shelf, you're like, I can't reach it. And then they're like, yeah, we got to get the machine, and they drive it over, and then they have a ladder and lights out and all this stuff.
Right. Well,
Then they got to mop the floor because somebody came by and spilled their iced tea. That, like, people go to the grocery store and they buy iced tea. You know how easy it is to make iced tea? Like, lickety split, like faster than going to the store, faster than going car.
Well, okay. Well, you were talking earlier about like the different vibes of going to the grocery store and how you connect to people and how going to the grocery store you're like more connecting on that commiserating misery type thing and how going to,
Yeah, I don't even want a beer.
right, and going to the market is more like lighthearted connectedness.
Hey, wow, look at those greens over there. And oh, they have flowers.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm gonna go back to my yoga. We talking yoga about sattva,
Stretch it out.
about food that's light and energetic and promotes a certain type of energy in the body, a really clear light energy. I love cooking with the sun. I love solar cooking because it gives me this sattvic feeling. I love eating greens
cooking.
and vegetables, and I just love my grocery-free life. I love having spent like the last 5.5 months not eating anything from the grocery store and feeling my personal energy completely shift. Feeling that lightness, feeling it's like, well, yeah, of course I'm gonna be speaking to what's light and what's wonderful with people I know at the market instead of commiserating like.
Yeah, can you believe you like how much like some people just want to commiserate. I just want to be like, it's okay. We got hope. You're safe. We're gonna be okay. We know how to live on this earth. We know all the different plants. Like when the aliens land here and they're like, what's going on? What's for dinner? We'll be able to tell them, right? We have a special guest that's just like popping up here right now. What's your name? Oh, I'm just getting a special guest. Wiggle, wiggle.
Aww.
Wake it. Wake the farm up.
Wake the farm up.
You know, we got some way.
Thank you.
Like, you know, aliens can walk around here and have dinner with you, and it's really cool. Like, they like try to make them feel safe. You know, whatever planet they came from, they're just trying to learn about stuff. And the more we can teach them, like, the better. Like, the more they'll like be like, yeah, these people are cool. They know how to live on this planet. They know what's around them. They know what plants are above them. They know the trees that are around them, and like how they work. Because, you know, the aliens be talking to them too, and they're asking them about us. You know, they're like, what's up with these creatures? They know, what do they know about?
So anyways,
What's for
but not to
dinner?
say- so
Yogi.
commiserating, go back. It deserves space too. We all need validation. We all need support. We all need love. But there's just something about what you put in your body making you a little bit happier. And where the food comes from, finding food in community, making things a little bit lighter, making you a little bit more connected. And I think it all works together, even if, you know, it's like nothing to say about, nothing about anybody who needs space held too. We all do.
Yeah, and we want you to feel safe to feel that way, you know. I like
For
that,
sure.
right? You know,
But try
yeah.
to light it up. It's like, man, we can be going through all kinds of crazy stuff, but if that's the only vibe, that is draining on
Yeah,
yourself,
drainbow.
on other people, and it's just
You-
not fun.
Yeah, you have to go eat something purple so you can bring it back up to
Hey,
your like
take out
indigo
that
chakra
grief.
point up into the top crown.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love the purple crown situation we got going on behind us.
Yeah, we got some purple lights coming out of the plants behind us. They're just natural light, you know.
And these
emitted from the
horns.
sun. That's from the green falcon deer of the mystical forest of Purpleon.
Yeah, once again, the connection, green and purple, right here behind us.
Yeah, it's dear to us.
You got this green and purple shirt going on.
Yeah.
I got purple shorts sitting in a green chair.
I think our audio listeners are just picking up like some serious purple colors now. You guys feeling purple? Like purple's become what's for dinner. I think.
Yeah,
I think to sum it up, you know, I think we might have an agreement on what's for dinner now, Liz.
purple.
Purple. We're gonna be we're gonna be like purple people. Like you know, any purple people
eater.
we're gonna be eating. And so if you
Purple
guys
people
see
eaters.
purple people, can you just ask them to come to the SoulPatch? Just to save us time. We're hungry. We eat purple. Oh, do you have purple hair? We could dye their hair purple and then eat them. There's different ways to like cultivate mushrooms and plants and all kinds of things. You know, like people are really into insects. You know, maybe we could talk about that. You know, it's like this fun conspiracy theory zone I love playing with. You know, this whole like, I just thought of it. I think in the last show I did, I told people I could prove them the world was flat in 3 sentences, and I didn't even get to finish telling them how that or even prove it. They didn't even like ask for it. And, you know, that's what happens when we talk about flat Earth. People don't really want to hear about it. That's why I like the concept of being able to, you know, have them know that it actually is in 3 sentences. You know, so. Should I tell these people?
Tell me.
Do you guys want to hear why the world's flat in 3 sentences? Like, I mean, like if I could prove it, you know, you got to give me a good yell, wake the farm up or something, all right?
Yes. Okay, let's go.
So you know how the world is. You know how the world's made out of like 85% water,
Okay.
right? Yeah, it's not carbonated, right? 2 sentences. It ain't carbonated, right?
I don't even wanna
Because it's what? It's flat. Ha! Yeah,
Okay.
and then that's about as
We
far as
kinda
I could
gotta
go in
go.
that one. You don't have to sit with me for 3 hours on that. We just took care of it. We can move on to the next topic, which was, what were we talking about? I was getting into
Wake the
conspiracies.
farm.
Wake
You
the farm
blew
up.
my mind.
Like, we're just all over
Completely
it.
blowing my mind.
Bugs. People eating bugs.
People
Yeah, you
eat
know, like,
bugs. Okay.
like now the world's flat, but now they want us to eat bugs. And, like, there's actually some interesting things. You can look it up in, I think it's in the Netherlands. They are legalizing and making actual farming illegal and really regulating the food system there to the point where they are investing a lot in creating food with bugs for people and turning it into things that's like, you know, like a tofu. It's like this new magical protein food. It's supposed to be really efficient because you don't need as much water to create the bugs and all that stuff. I'm not too worried about it, like the eating bugs. I do like eating bugs, but maybe not quite so much when like a whole societal civilization like requires that's what you're eating because of some panic that there's not enough room to like find food. There's so much good food around. Don't they have like good fish up there or something? Like
yeah.
why would they want
Oh
to
my gosh.
like
One of
freak
the-
out about eating bugs?
Like they have great farmers. I remember going to a great farmers market in Amsterdam.
For real? Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe they just like Amsterdam. They do come up with some cool creative stuff there. Maybe they're just doing that thing, you know, like Greenland was called Greenland. Iceland was called Iceland. Maybe some of you know that story, but yeah, Greenland's actually colder and Iceland's actually warmer. It was one of those tricks to be like, hey, go to Greenland and die and we'll have more room for us here. It's kind of one of those tricks. It's like that, you know?
Yeah, okay.
Exactly. Like, so.
Just like that.
So what's for dinner, Liz?
I guess bugs. Purple
I'm
bugs.
so hungry for bugs.
I don't know.
It sounds good to me. Yeah, my favorite bugs that I've ever eaten were ants that were existing in a pine forest, and they actually kind of tasted like pine nuts. So like a little sweet, but a little piney, and you know, I'd go for that.
Yeah, I'm not really like a big bug eater. I'm not offended by bugs being in my salad. I know a lot of people freak out about that, and I'm like, no, it's cool. I'm sure I've eaten plenty of bugs there, but I'm not like intentionally eating bugs, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I've eaten a lot of slugs. Like, there's often slugs found when you harvest greens, and you might miss them, but then you just think about it, it's like, the French eat slugs, and they call it escargot. So it's like, here I am, like, harvesting these wild greens, and I'm just naturally getting, like, bacon bit-sized escargot sprinkled in my salad, because they're usually slugs that are really small that I've eaten. They're not like the California banana slugs. I've heard they don't taste like bananas, just so you know.
Ooh.
I didn't try the California banana slugs. Like, those things are huge. Like,
I remember the slugs where I grew up being huge. I'm in Maryland. Those Annapolis,
Big
Maryland
one,
slugs were like huge.
there's something magical about that slug slime, though. It's like if you can put it on a wound or something. You ever hear about that? Like, that's pretty fantastic, you know?
Interesting.
A lot of things that we eat for our food, we can actually put it under our skin. I've never gotten to that segue of talking about it by talking about eating slugs. But there's a first time for everything, you know. So
yeah, I know. I feel like the more naturally I eat, like the more stuff will just like spill on my skin, and I'm like, I'll just rub it in. It's like, this is good for me.
Yeah, avocados are one that I really enjoyed at an early part of my exploration of putting food on me. You know, like what's for dinner? I'm gonna put it on me. It's like I was cutting avocados up. You get it on your hand. You can just rub that into your skin. You can rub it into your, like my knees gardening sometimes get like dried a little bit more. The clay and the soils get sucked out. I'll just rub some of that avocado on my knee.
Nice.
But, you know, that's probably from the grocery store. There ain't no avocado around here. So that's like from the past. That's why I said it was a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I have like had a little bit of avocado just when I have gone to some restaurants that have had it, because I do still go to restaurants, local restaurants, and sometimes they got stuff. But I heard too, like, you know, like connections between avocados and the cartel and all that. I'm a little sketched out.
People got like supply and demand. You know, what are we demanding from our food system? What are we asking them to grow? Why are they growing us bugs? It's because we're not asking them clearly what we really want. You know, like what's going on? Like, what do we want? Do we want bugs? Do we want good food? Do we want that? Do you want to feel full, like, and but get sick later? What do you want? Like, do you want, like, I noticed I eat a bunch of cake, like, at a kid's birthday party or something. You know what happens? They hand you a cake on a styrofoam plate, and they smile at you like, yeah, it's some cake. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll have some cake. What's in it? And they're like, it's cake. Grocery store, I got it. And it's got this kid's name on it. And they squirted it out of a caulk gun onto it. It was cool. I watched them. It's like, wow, it's handmade. That's cool. And you try it, but then next thing you know, it's like super sweet, and then your mouth becomes bitter. Bitter as farm, you know? It's like your mouth is like, I need to go drink some water. I mean, that's what happens to me every time, I swear. But they're like things like that are bitter, like a dandelion leaf. I'll go and like pluck it up off the ground and I'll eat it, and it'll be bitter for like 3 seconds, and then I walk away with a sweet flavor in my mouth. It's fascinating, you know.
I'm not there. I eat the dandelion greens, but I'm like, I am totally a recovering sugar addict, and I gotta mix the dandelion greens with other kinds of greens. I'm like, I like the dandelion greens with the hostas.
Yeah, I like cookies wrapped up with hostas, you know? It's like, there's always a place for like a little retox and detox. Like, after those 3 years,
cookies. Did you eat all those?
Cookies are very, I'm an elf, so you know, I probably did. I probably did eat all of those cookies.
They were so gross.
What, you didn't like those cookies? Yeah,
I do
we all
not
have
like
different
those
like
cookies.
flavor palettes. People have to watch it with me. I'll be like, yeah, that hackberry, it tastes like milk duds. But you know, I'm a guy that hadn't had a milk dud in like 30 years, you know, so I can't exactly compare it to a milk dud. And other people try it and be like, that don't taste like a milk dud, Andy.
no,
I'm
Elf.
like, yeah, well, don't take that away from me. Don't just validate my experience. It tastes like milk duds, and it's filling that role for me.
Oh my
just
God.
like, you know, just like it, you know. Like
Yeah.
dehydrated
You got
ammonia.
some
Sometimes
special
it tastes like
taste buds.
nerds to me, you know, like things taste like nerds. I haven't had nerds. How many of you guys like nerds?
Oh my God, that was like my favorite when I was little.
Like, isn't it,
Oh.
like, what if you found something that tasted like that out in the forest and they just happened to be called something like dork? Wouldn't that be cool? But yeah, there's things out there that taste like nerds. I mean, nerds get their flavor originally from nature, just like a lot of this stuff.
No. Well, you
Nerds
definitely
like
have
me.
a special palate, my friend.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I like that.
No, those cookies. Okay. We first made the best cookies that I've ever had. They were so good.
So good.
You had the figs. What was that? Fig jam?
Fig jam. You guys like fig? You've been checking out jams here, you know, like check out a fig jam sometime. Go figure.
Yeah. So those were figs grown in Cincinnati that you made into jam so I could eat them, and you like made you had bulk store stuff that we made the cookies out of and made the best cookies ever. And then I was like,
Local
we should add some
butter.
green powder. I'm like thinking like a couple tablespoons of green powder just to like basically make myself feel better. And not even physically, just mentally, like enough to say there's green powder in there, but not actually taste it. He dumps green powder in these
Yeah, some
cookies.
people like to measure everything, and some people like to be a little bit more like me. I'm like a smidgen, a dash, a dump.
Your
a
jar,
dollop.
which was like the size of a small plate, like a size of a small tea saucer.
That's
That's the opening of
the
it. You're
top
like,
of it,
I'll
yeah,
just
yeah.
see what happens if I just tip this in. And it's like, bam.
green
Bam,
cookies.
green.
Yeah, we had to add extra
Green
butter and all
cookies.
that
I
shit to
ate
make
them with
up
my
for it.
eggs in the morning.
That's crazy, right? So
They were disgusting.
that's
You ate
what's
them
for
all.
dinner for me that night. But you know, we got to wrap up in here. We've got some more programs coming here tonight. Even we have some glowing vivariums over here with Danny, and we've got some garden hosts that'll be around in the gardens here tonight, and maybe some interesting pop-up things will come up on the stage. So if you're cruising by here, check out what we're doing. It's a chill place over here.
Yeah.
I think we need to go get dinner here.
Right.
Yeah,
But
we got to figure that out. I know we've been discussing it with all these folks, but I think we got a good idea what we're gonna eat now.
I think
right?
so. I think we're gonna eat the rainbow, purple people, slugs.
And hackberry milk dud.
Yep, we got this.
Host us.
Awesome.
Host us.
Wake the Farm Up. Everybody
the
check
Farm.
out Wake the Farm Up on your Spotify, on your Apple.
Yeah, you can come over this way and check out the merch booth here. We got some free slaps on here. They usually go for about $800 a slap, but we're giving them out for free today. That's right. Wake the farm up.
Leave us
Thank
a
you
rating,
all.
leave us a review.
I hope you enjoy your dinner.
Wake the Farm Up.
You know what? Wait, cut it. One very important thing, you know, in creating a safe space for having dinner with community is respecting everybody else's diets, having fun with it, you know, when you're talking about food, but respecting other people's diets, you know, like a person is like vegan because they have their convictions and they want to be vegan. A person is eating a cow is because they want to eat a cow. A person is eating a donut is because they want to eat a donut. I respect y'all and love y'all for what you want to eat.
But please try to consider the source of whatever you're eating.
Yeah, and have fun with it and feel what it feels like when you do. Wake the farm up.
Wake the farm up.
Let's go eat.
Chicken. Squash.
They're like throwing underwear up on the stage and shit now. Like, what are we gonna do with all this stuff? We're gonna have to compost it, or like I
That
don't
was
know
for
what to
dinner?
do.
Oh, God.
Bras and stuff.
I'm gonna turn it off so it's good. Wake the farm up.
Let's stay awake. Sleep when you need to, of course, but wake the farm back up right away when you need to. But yeah.
If you can hear my voice, on the count of 3, give us a wake the farm up. Okay. All right. Can you hear my voice? I can hear you. You can hear my voice. All right. You're gonna give me a wake the farm up on 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Wake the farm up!
Here, one other time at Summercamp Music Festival 2023. The elf talked about foraging with a bear. That's right, with a bear. If you were there, you know what the bear is like.
Situation in which it's growing on.
Here they
Yeah,
go.
those are like the invisible forces, right?
Joe Briggs.
That's a big reason why a large part of our agriculture systems right now depend like solely on monocrops, like 1 year annual monocrops, crops that you can take the seed, plant it, start over again the next year. You know, it's a lot of work, but we've been at like a conflict in our invisible structures on where we're able to grow things and where we're able to interact with things. There's been so many times where our food forest systems have been destroyed by outside cultures coming in and destroying them because that's where your food's growing. Or so like somebody comes in and like burns your village where your people live. You pick up your annual seeds like your beans, your soybeans, your corns, and your whatnot. You run to the next spot and you can start over again. You got food. You know, you got food for the people again. And, you know, next thing you know, that leads to hierarchy because you're storing that grain, you're storing whatever that little food unit is. And next thing you know, you need to build a fort. You know, you got a fort, you know, now you got people guarding it, and you start getting this whole hierarchy thing. It's crazy. It's crazy. So, as I was talking about, you know, people are like, how did you learn all this stuff about these plants? And it's like learning about people. If you go somewhere and you live in a community of people, you've never been there, say, so you don't know any of the people. Maybe you have a job, that's why you moved to the new place, perhaps. And somebody at your job invites you to a potluck or some kind of social event where you can meet people. You're like, all right, that's cool, I'm on it. You go to the potluck, it's really cool, you meet some cool people, you know, and you learn their names and find out that they do this potluck once a month. So after a year, you know all their names. And after a year, you actually even know when so-and-so walks in the room. Now you know why so-and-so always walks out of the room. You know, you start knowing why so-and-so gets louder when this starts happening. And, you know, it's like that with plants. You, like, walk out in a new forest. Maybe you've never been there before. You just moved somewhere. It's a new place. You learn a few plants, and over time, you start knowing all of them. Then you start seeing how they interact with each other. And it just keeps getting deeper. It's like an ongoing experience. You know, it's not like something you're like, yeah, I learned how to change tires. You know, there's like a start and finish to that kind of situation. It's like, I mean, some people get really into it, don't get me wrong, and they set up their own like tire changing shop. They get really into like timing of it. You know, there's tire changing races and stuff like that. It's crazy. So, you know, just like, oh, great. I'm gonna relax here with my friend. We're welcome on the Wake the Farm Up podcast. We often have guests, and today we were going to be doing an elf monologue here, but we thought we'd welcome our friend the bear. Everybody welcome Camp Bear here. Hey guys, how you doing? Can you hear me on the microphone? Can you hear me? Can you guys hear him? Can you turn, you got the bear, turn it up a little bit? Yeah. I think you might need to check the translator button. But they don't have that plug-in, Bear. Here, hold on. Yeah, okay. Hey, I think it's working now. It was just this orange tape that was on this microphone here. So we got it. I appreciate you, James. Let's all give it up for James over here, sound man. Yeah, wake the farm up. All right, so what do you want to talk about? I don't know. We just had a honey workshop. Were you over there at the honey workshop? We were talking about pollinators and stuff. Yeah, like how many of you guys saw that? Did you guys see Bear there? Yeah. Yeah. You saw him there? Yeah, I saw him over there. So how was that workshop? It was pretty sweet. That makes sense. That's just sweet. So what other kind of things have you been into here at Scamp? Oh, I was checking out some music last night.
and dancing, and I really like the lotus that I'm looking out across the road right now.
Oh yeah, did you see the lotus out there in the field? That's beautiful right there. You know, you can see the lotus. Like, you can contribute like writing onto it somehow there.
Yeah, it's a sanctuary spot, you know, to kind of like give some gratitude for all our ancestors and the people in the past.
Oh, that's dope, man. Like, so are you like a dead bear?
Yeah, I love the dead. I'm a total deadhead there. That's why I love going to camp, you know, just going out to the camp, you know. Since I got here just off train down here at Terrapin Station.
Terrapin Station? Is there even a Terrapin Station anywhere near here?
Yeah, there is.
You know, I was on the golf carts earlier, and there was like people that were cruising around that had banana peels, you know, and it was like Mario Kart or something like that. But you know, let me know if there's any blue turtle shells around. Those are the best, I think. This is the best.
Yeah, okay, I'll let you know.
All right, we got to talk about forest gardening stuff though, and foraging. I bet you know something about foraging. Yeah, I think, you know, humans like have always learned things from animals, right? You know, we're out in the forest and we see animals doing things and then we mimic them. Just like, you know, other animals sometimes mimic us. Have you ever had a mockingbird like outside of your house or something start mimicking your cell phone or something? It's hilarious. Or maybe it mimics like a song that you like to play every morning. It's just like, yeah, I like that song. I'm gonna start jamming with you. You know, it's really cool. There's an interaction. So many interactions they had between other plants, other mushrooms, and animals and creatures. The way they move around and interact in the same ecosystem we are. You know, they say everything gardens. That's like a big topic there in forest gardening. You know, when you're forest gardening, it's not like a project you're doing alone. You're doing it with everything else out there. You're not looking at nature like through a petri dish. You're not like putting it into a little plastic container. You're not putting it into little rows or units. Maybe you can, but there's different ways of doing that. You know, we could get into that. You know, alley cropping and silvopasture and different like farm animal integration, which is kind of funny. You know, when you got bears and stuff that could be like roaming around out there, like the amount of fat that's in them.
Wait, what are you saying?
I mean, I wasn't like looking at you like I was gonna eat you or something.
Oh, that's good. Okay, I know how you foragers are. You foragers are all just like eating crazy shit. You know, it's like.
Yeah, I know we are. Like, you know, how many people out here have ever eaten a squirrel? Yeah, it's good stuff, right? You know, like popping the little tails on the antenna of the car and like seeing how it flaps in the wind too. All the squirrels, they just love it. They're like, they see their friend's tail, and it's like there's like a whole different kind of mentality. The way the squirrels kind of grew up, it's like a little different than like the structured like societal like civilization kind of thing. You know, like in which we kind of put our structures in, like. You know, as much as we want to stretch out of it, you know, like calendars and like the time of the day and all that stuff that we measure things and we agree on it and all that stuff, you know, it's like really cool. It's really arbitrary. But sometimes it kind of distracts like the way in which you're really creating and integrating yourself into the forest garden, which is thinking in a whole different way. And, you know, bears often are very comfortable at thinking about that. Like they'll eat a large meal and spend a couple of days, you know, just resting, you know, instead of like telling themselves that like I need to eat 3 meals every day, and you know they have to be at a certain time, otherwise I will poop at the wrong time, and if I do that I might be concerned. It's like it's okay to poop at different times. I mean, as long as you're pooping, right? I think it's like it's okay to feel tired and go to sleep when you feel tired, right? It's not like, oh no, I was just dancing and have a great time, but it's 10:30. That's when I'm usually tired. I should be tired right now. And then you go back to your tent and you're just like laying there, and all of a sudden like bear crawls in. It's like, hey, you want to go dancing? And you just like can't help it.
Yeah, that's what I did last night.
Yeah, that was great fun.
You know, we were dancing it up out there for a bit.
So that's a big important part, I think, too, in building forest gardens is like having the capacity to dance in it while you're working. You know, like are you really working? It's like you're moving your energy, but you're like, are you moving with like a passion and a connection? It's like it just makes sense, like why you're doing this or that. Are you learning from each one of those little moments too? You know, like mulching is like there's so many plants in the forest. There's accumulator plants. They are accumulating energy. They're healing the soil, just like making grounds for a better forest in the future. And sometimes you can like speed that up by your interaction with it. Plants like burdock, large leaf plants that you can chop, and within a week or two there's more large leaves there again. So in the meantime, you just harvested. That's basically what you're doing, and you're mulching. So at a certain point in a forest garden, the only interaction a human is doing is harvesting and mulching just by the natural litter that you create, that you just drop because it's naturally meant to be there. It's actually probably why, as a human species, when we're done with a potato chip bag, so many of us are so willing just to flick it out the window. What do you think about that kind of thing, Bear?
Oh, I hate that. It's like, how would you like it if I just came and shit all over inside of your dining room table or something?
I would not like that. I've seen your shit before, especially after you've had berries.
Yeah, I love berries. Yeah, like, especially the like cherry kind of things.
What do you like about cherry kind of things?
I just like how tart they are.
Yeah, you know what makes them tart, right?
They're good.
Yeah, it's like a vitamin C. There's a lot of vitamin C in those things, and a lot of other antioxidants and stuff that'll help protect you. And there's plants like aronia. I remember the Bear and I not long ago were eating aronia berries. That's a really cool. I like some specific forest garden plants, and that's one that's in this region of the world. It's a really cool superfood, aronia berry, and it's indigenous to the area here too. So it's adapted to how our seasons and our cycles flow, which is a very important thing to observe when you're integrating yourself with nature. And when you're foraging and collecting foods from nature in that way, your body starts to get tuned into those seasonal patterns too. And you wake up in the morning like the weather just feels just right. You know, and you'll see people eating out of cereal boxes saying that the weather is too cold or it's too hot. There's like where I live in southeastern Indiana, there's probably just like a few days of the year where everybody's like, it's really nice out. But most of the time, like I'm hearing somebody be like, it's humid. Or, you know, like, mosquitoes. You know, when you're eating a lot of like foods like from the forest around you too, a lot of times the mosquitoes don't even smell you. They love donuts just as much as we do. We love donuts, right? It's like, I've been looking through forests all over the world trying to find a freaking tree with a donut on it. I haven't yet, but when I do, I'll make sure I let you guys know somehow. So yeah, you know, I'll see if Bear can like send you guys a memo or, you know, at least something there on that, some kind of fax. You guys get faxes, right? You know, so there's a thing. It's like the ESP fax. You know, it's like when you think of something that just makes sense. You know, it's like you just like connect it into something. It's very similar. In forest gardening, you can look at patterns. There's a whole architecture to a forest, how it naturally grows, how it wants to grow, and how it wants to be supported growing and feel safe growing. It wants to feel safe doing what it does. A lot of trees that are pruned in orchards don't necessarily want to be pruned, but once they are pruned, they kind of have to they're stuck in this human pruning connection cycle. Otherwise, the tree will get overfilled with suckers and just fill in and fall apart and become like a broken, neglected orchard, and eventually turn into probably a great place to find morels if it's old apple trees. Yeah, jumping right back into the aronia berry thing, you know, coming off of apple trees, you know, fascinating thing about them as a superfood too, going into a future we're going into, they have been known already to help people with radiation sickness. So if you're exposed to radiation in some way, there's people from Chernobyl who have been prescribed aronia berries, literally, and it's helped them to have their bodies recover from radiation. You know, like, I feel like there's probably maybe some more radiation, or maybe just different kinds of radiations than we've been exposed to as humans before, and it just makes sense to change our diets, you know, as the seasons change, as the climates change, as the world changes. Apples are freaking amazing, don't get me wrong. They're as American as apple pie and all that stuff, but they're originally from Kazakhstan, the forests of Kazakhstan, you know, like not that far north of Afghanistan. And that's a tree that does wonderfully well there. They grow like 60-something feet tall and live long, happy tree lives. Like here, there's so many diseases now because they've been grafting and cloning the same trees for years. Like your good old Red Delicious.
Yeah, you want to need to say something about that?
I guess so, Bear. Bear wanted to say something about the Red Delicious.
They're really not that good.
That's all you wanted to say?
Yeah.
Alright, well, cool. So, the Red Delicious is a apple that one tree could be growing in New Jersey and one tree could be growing in Northern California, and it's the same tree. So if a disease, or a fungus or something can pick up on it somewhere, or some, thing comes along after people have been grafting it for hundreds of years or whatever, it's going to be one thing that can take it out. It's going to take it out. It's not developing any sort of tolerance. So for me, as I develop forest gardens, I do love to plant things that drop seeds that self-replicate fruit that's like their parents. So I lean into talking now about the pawpaw fruit. It's a wonderful native fruit. It's North America's largest tree fruit. When the seeds come off of it and make baby trees, the fruit will be very similar to its parents. Where if you take an apple tree from a Red Delicious and take the seeds out, you don't know what you're going to get. You're going to get a wild apple tree from Kazakhstan that could potentially grow to be 60 feet, could potentially grow to be 8 feet. It depends on what it wants to do. It's going to be its own thing. It's not going to be a Red Delicious, though. That's what I'm saying. See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I sure do.
You just want to go back to that honey workshop, don't you?
Yeah, you know it.
Alright, well, you just kick back and just enjoy that honey in your belly then, alright, buddy? That honey, that's a whole nother part of the forest garden. That's a wonderful place to forage. The bees are out foraging miles. I think it was 2 miles or something he was saying over here. That's a long stretch of forest, right? Forests are really important. They create shade. After 13 years of doing market farm gardens, growing tomatoes and stuff, it's hot out in the sun. And when you start growing in a forest and you're walking underneath the canopy of trees that are producing fruit, nuts, and there's animals like chickens grazing underneath things that are eating salad greens. There's so many salad greens. You guys know how many greens are edible? It's probably easier if you wanted to go learn the small list of poisonous plants in the world and then go enjoy the rest. Just it's amazing. Start learning these things. There's so much food. I just can't help telling you how much food there is.
Oh, let's go get some of that food.
Is it ready yet though? I want a donut.
Are you kidding me? After all that you said.
I mean, it's what can you do? Can we make a nettle donut or something? Some kind of nettle greens put into the donut, somehow make it good with some honey?
Oh, that sounds good. Okay, I'll do that.
You will? Alright, cool. So I know what Bear and I are going to be doing. So, wake the farm up.
Hey everybody, let's give a round of applause for the Bear. Thank you, Bear, for coming on the show. Wake the farm up.
Got orange bells and traffic lights, neon signs and stoplights, and all flags of freedom.
Yeah,
Go.
back to the woods. Back to the woods.
Alright, now let's welcome up Tom Wall of Cosmic Knots in the Ancient Tree Archive. We're going to be talking with Sequoia and jamming some music. And we're going to be hearing some poetry from some unspoken, amazing people that come up on the stage. There was so much more. Check us out at SoulPatch, Summer Camp, real life. It's the real deal.
Swell, yeah! Wake the farm up.
Most drugs. But so he died briefly while he was out, and when he did, an angel or a light being, whatever you want to call it, came to him and told him to go and clone the biggest and oldest trees left in the world, because that was going to save the world. Because without that, you know, we're have a potential of being in great peril. So he did that, and 25 years later, I'm doing what I'm doing, and then here's the television show going, yeah, we couldn't say the part about the angel telling him to do this. It was a little too deep for PBS or whatever, you know. And I understood that, but he's like, you really need to go meet this man. You're like, you have to go meet this man. Well, it turns out that Jesse and Chris had already reached out to me, and I didn't know that. So then finally I'm like, oh, okay. So I hit him up, and we went up there and we recorded, and I met Dave, and he goes, wow, this is really something. You need to go out to California with us. And I was like, whatever. People tell you that all the time when you're playing music, right? But they're not going to actually flip a bill. They're not going to get you out to California. They're not going to help you do that. Well, I got in this thing called Art Prize, and it was down in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and there was like thousands of people checking out this box I built with the trees playing interactive music with lights. And at the very end of that, all of a sudden I get this email saying, do you want to go out to California and climb a sequoia tree and play with the giant sequoias? And I was like, what? But sure enough, here we were, and we loaded up the truck, and we followed them out there with about, what was it, 200 trees, 250 trees we brought out there? 250, right? And so we loaded up the truck with 250 trees, and we took off out there, and next thing you know, I'm climbing this sequoia with everybody. We all climbed it, and I had to find a way to modify this device. And so what the whole thing behind this is that the plants and trees play music with their inner electrode magnetic fluctuations. And what we have here is these different clips, right? These different electrodes. You got one that goes to the root right here, and then you got one that goes onto the leaf, and it just clips on. And between those two, what you'll get is a fluctuation of all the notes, and it's like a lie detector, basically. So you're getting this reading off the plants inner electromagnetic fluctuations, but once you have that and you get that waveform, every time it hits a certain size wave, you can have it hit a certain note and play music. So what they've done is found a way to have it play music with us. So I had to find a way to go up and climb this sequoia and then make these electrodes go 200 feet and hope to God it worked. Well, we got up there and I started climbing the tree, and after 50 feet, my arms were getting out, and I thought I was crazy. 50 feet up a tree is pretty high. I mean, it's 5 stories already. By 100 foot, the clouds rolled in. I'm 7,000 foot up in this mountain, and it's 100 foot below me, and the clouds roll in, and I couldn't even see the ground anymore. So finally, my fear of all that kind of just went away, because you can't even see the ground. So I get up to 200 foot, and I attach the electrodes to this leaf. I get back down, and I was so sore and so whooped I didn't want to turn it on right now, because if it didn't work, I was going to be really upset after driving all the way across the country and climbing 200 foot up into a sequoia tree. So I waited the next morning, and I figured I'd be in a better mood if it didn't work. But I turned it on the next morning, and sure enough, the tree started rocking out with me. So I turned it off, and we had the kids come out, and everything, we got everybody there. And somehow the cord broke in the middle of it. I mean, I was like from me to you away, and the cord just broke. I don't know how it happened, but so it took a minute, and then finally we got it working again. It was a good jam, but what I found through that was that the trees are super conscious, and they really listen to what you're doing, and they can actually tune into what you're thinking. Now, you got to follow me on this one, because I know it sounds far out at this point, but when I'm going to a chord, and if I go to a next chord, they'll follow me, but sometimes I'll purposely trick them and not go to that chord, and they'll go to that chord, and they'll stop, and they'll come back, and they're like, almost like they're joking with me, like, what? You just tricked us. It's really wild. And so I'm playing with the big trees, and this big tree is sitting there rocking out with me, and it's really listening to what I'm doing, but also my internal mechanism, and it was tripping me out. But through all that, it just kept building and building, and now it's been talked about around the world, and I've been on all sorts of different news organizations. For the tree plantings that we did, we were on, I don't even know how many different news organizations. You guys do that all the time. It's like a regular day in your life. But so you know, it was just interesting to be able to go through that and see all these things. But one thing that the whole point of this is that it's all consciousness, right? To a degree. So if that tree could play music, that means that everything living, we're walking on it constantly. They know what's going on, right? And they don't go anywhere. They don't move. They just sit there. And we take care of the plants, and we feed the plants, and we make sure they're fertilized, and we have to have crops to grow. Otherwise, we don't live as a society. And guess what they do? They don't move. They just sit there, and they make us take care of them. So we're not growing plants. The plants are growing us. And that's just the truth of it. And that's what you learn through all this. So these trees and plants are very much alive, but they can know what you're thinking. They can know what you're doing. And they can jam with you. And I know that's a big part of what we're here to do. And I appreciate you all coming out for this, and I really hope that you enjoy all this. But let's just plug in the Sequoia now that we're here to this point, and see how it goes. All right?
Just listen.
That's the tree. That piano is the tree. And that's the Sequoia we all just took part in right here. And I want you all to know that it can choose to play and choose to stop whenever it wants. Sometimes it just won't play. So at least it wants to play for us. But as you notice, it's kind of sporadic right now. And they like to play tricks on you when you're talking about them, too. It's pretty fun. I'm not joking. At Electric Forest, it was a riot, man. It was doing all sorts of silly stuff. Like, every time I'd say something about it, all of a sudden, like, emphasize the point, you know? So, I mean, I'd ask if you could dig it, but I think you understand. I mean, this It's probably getting a little bit weirdly influenced by all the booming around too. What we'll do is we'll do a little bit of Actually, where's Andy at? Andy, come on. You want to talk? I think Andy wanted to ask the tree some questions, guys. I do believe that was part of this whole process. Am I right?
Yeah, hey, tree. How are you feeling this? Oh, yeah, you want to sing, harmonize a little bit? Yeah, I'm Andy the Elf from Wake the Farm Up. We record podcasts. I've done some shows here at the SoulPatch. I've interviewed a lot of hominoids. I've talked with plants since I was 13. This has been like a dream of mine, honestly, Tom. Honestly, Sequoia, since wow. Eons. The technology's there. That you can... This tree is getting to play music right now. I mean, it's no like trick or gimmick or nothing. This is like... You know, like that's a real thing right here. Like, I know you guys believe in technology. Like when you get a phone call and like your friend's picture's there, you like believe that that's actually the person that called you and stuff. You know, you believe that, right? Like this is like very simpler than that. Yeah. So, wow, you are 3,000 years old. Yeah, I don't really count them that much either. If I was 3,000, I'd probably be like, yeah, just like a bunch of times I've seen the sun come around. Wow. La 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 la. Sequoia, I'd love to introduce you to the co-host on Wake the Farm Up, Liz Virgo. You like that idea? Yeah, amazing. Roots. Roots.
The low ones are sometimes just like, whoa.
What a beautiful serenade. Thank you. So I have to jump up here and talk about why the tree started singing so much when Andy came, because I feel like the tree probably has, you know, some appreciation for some of the tree things that you have done.
I'm like honestly like immensely emotionally feeling that right now. I'm like slightly stunned. That doesn't always quite happen to me, but like I'm enjoying that and this like experience. Like right now, I've taken a vow of talking a whole lot, and I hope that this tree, like I can tell this tree, this sequoia here, really loves music and loves what's happening like in this energy in this space right now. That's what it's telling me. That's what it's telling me.
So what kind of tree did you live in?
So on the West Coast, I had lived in a Douglas fir that was actually about 360 something feet tall. She was about 900 years old, 900 something years old. And I lived up in there for 3 months. Other people lived up in there for about 3 years. And the purpose of that living in the tree was so nobody could cut it down without like, you know, taking a human life, which would create some kind of martyrdom thing. You know, I was like martyrdom into that thing, and I was dedicated. I love these like the connection that can be found climbing and living, not even talking to another human for 3 months, feeling what it feels like almost when flying tree squirrels are crawling around on you in your sleeping bag. I even woke up one time and saw two of them work together, open a jar of peanut butter and clean it out before I could even get out of my sleeping bag.
So you can see why this tree loves Andy. This tree knows. Andy's a tree person for sure, like none of us probably have ever experienced. Andy's sitting here relating to you, talking about being 50 stories up in the, you know, he's like, oh, I know that feeling.
Yeah, Tom was mentioning climbing up 200 feet. I'm very aware of what 200 feet looks like. I mean, you can think about a 20-story building in the city is a roughly around 10 foot a floor, so that's about the 200-foot building is going to be a 20-foot floor building. And thinking of these like 360-foot trees that I was in, and these, I mean, did you climb all the way? I mean, you didn't climb all the way to the top. It was even taller, right?
The first living branch. Yeah. We only got up the first living branch. I mean, I asked Jesse originally, I'm like, well, what's the closest? He goes, I don't know, but it's at least 100 feet. And so I was like, well, I gotta go 250. And thank God I did it, because then 200 foot later, that's when the first living branch came to where we could get to it, because the forest fire just came through.
Wow, yeah.
And that was one thing that I wanted to point out, is that of all these trees, when Dave did what he did, was he had these ancient genetics, he was laughed at by science, but eventually the forest fires came through and proved him right, and he got to put the trees back. And I know if you were here in the beginning, you heard that, but these are ancient trees. This one right here is actually thousands of years old. This one right here is a redwood that's thousands of years old. It's a clone of a tree that's thousands of years old. So we're here listening to music from ancient genetics right now. This is the tree right here in the center playing music.
Yeah, and I'm feeling like this connection here, right? And this sweetness, this softness of it, but also hearing from you, sharing a little bit of your interaction that you have had over time here, connecting with trees, communicating with them in this form. You were mentioning doing tricks on each other. I love that. I contemplate humor, like this concept of cosmic humor, you know, and that's definitely very cosmically humorous, like how there can be a play like that. And you can find in that play, like that's how birds in the forest are singing together. They're singing with the ways that they have capacity to sing. If they could be out singing like Tina Turner, I imagine a bird would, but they're singing in these ways, and this is amazing. We're given a connected route, like an instrument to connect and communicate with us. we can communicate with all the species of life and take our moments with that, you know? Yeah, So Sequoia, are you getting ready? These guys are up here with some nice strings and summer camp. Are you guys ready to hear from Sequoia and the cosmic knot here? Yeah.
So I'd like to introduce Brennan from the MacPods. Anybody remember the MacPods? Are you familiar? All right. So yeah, he literally walked up to the second right on time. And he's going to play bass with us while we do the tree jam here. So I'll start the jam off with the tree. And then he's going to come in and we're going to do this thing. And I don't know if we need any singing yet, but we might. We'll see how this goes. But what needs to be up? The plant? He's the guy. And let's give it up for Riggs here for helping us with the sound and everything. How about that, guys? We got a tree playing music, and we got Riggs over here helping us out. We got Brennan from the MacPods. We're about to rock out with a Sequoia tree. This is life, everybody. This is life at summer camp, apparently, and here we are. 2023. Look at this beautiful sunset we got. We're sitting here with a Sequoia serenading us. we'll do some chords here so you can kind of hear it change as we go, right? We'll go to A here. Here we go. It takes a second. It's like, wait a minute, what are you doing here? Back to E. And back to A again. And E again. So what do y'all think? I mean, it's a sequoia tree playing music with us, guys. It's like not an average day for anybody, I suppose, right? And we're here sitting here rocking out with it. So let's maybe see if we can get this second one to go. And if we can, let's have a jam with both of them together. And maybe we'll get a little funkier with it. I mean, we got Brennan here, right? So this is the redwood. This redwood's thousands of years old, honestly. It's a clone from a tree that's thousands of years old, and it's jamming out with us right now, right? So we're going to have a bluesy, funky kind of jam with the redwood, and we'll get the sequoia going on this, too. We're going to have two trees playing with us, and we're going to do a song that I will sing about singing out here with the trees. So here we are, everybody. Are you having a good time at summer camp so far? Once again, it's a fucking tree playing music for us, everybody. Come on. Florganoleptic music at that. Two trees playing together at the same time. Can we all just take a minute to stop and just like let's just like take this in? There's just two trees playing music together. Like it doesn't just happen, you know what I mean?
Can I just say something, Tom? I think with the two of them and you guys, that's quite the trio. Just saying, don't take me away from here and like charge me for treason or something. Okay? Treason. Get it out of here.
Riggs. All right. Well, I'm telling you, there's no place I'd rather be. Out here in the woods, singing with the trees. I understand out in nature you can grow. Only one thing that we should know. It's so cool, you know. Really got to let go. Out here in Mother Nature, you can really grow. It's so cool, you know. Really gotta let go. Out in Mother Nature, you can really learn to grow. So Dan, you got your hand drum? So that's the trees and us all jamming together. So I think we got one more song and then we're gonna wrap this all up. But you got your hand drum? Bring it up, man. Come on, let's get in on this. We're gonna do. Let's give it for Brendan from the Magpies, everybody. Could we turn up the plants just a little bit? The trees, I should say. Again, guys, there's a tree playing music. There's two trees playing music with us, so you know. If you ever go out to the wood, well, maybe do your soul some good. You can't find any sanity amongst the concrete. Well, if you go outside, then you'll see. Tell me, do you really know how to dance? Tell found any sanity. What's the concrete? Well, if you go outside, maybe then you'll see. Tell me, do you really know how to dance? Tell me, is it true? Are you blue? Have you ever learned how to dance? So, hey Riggs, could you just turn both plants down pretty low for me? Both trees. Stop saying. Okay. So, with that being said, this is the trees playing music again, everybody. You know what I mean? So, I think we could probably end it with that, but I mean, it was kind of the feedback thing, so I think we'll go to just a little bit of jam, a little bit of jawless, leave with that, but remember that we are all nature, and that's nature itself, and if we understand that, it knows what you're thinking, it knows what you're doing, it knows that we're talking about it, it knows that we're responding to it, it knows how to jam with you. And that's just, it's a new fact of life, I guess, but the whole idea with this is to take the data and map it and make a new language potentially that the plants can speak. It's like looking at the Rosetta Stone of the plant world right now, everybody. But this is really happening. This is really the trees playing, and I thank y'all for coming out. We'll let you go, but we're gonna just kind of close it out with a little bit of jam. And we got a little bit of poetry we're gonna have while we close out this jam. Okay, guys? He's got a poetry over here. Or a poet about a 300-year-old oak tree that has to be taken down in Chicago, and he's going to regale us with all that.
Over 300 years of witnessing, watching over us, our foibles, our fables, and our greatness, creating shade for a moment in need, often as needed, rinse and repeat. A giant in the forest with no need to flex muscle, rooted in silence amidst so much bustle and hustle, and yet not so. The protests of the war from her people who are over it. Even her arms waved in not so silent protest, yet she never lost her serenity nor her focus. Year after year, ring after ring, there's a quiet splendor in the solitude she brings. Sovereignty. When is a tree still a tree? When it's so much more than a piece of property? When it's still given reign in its sovereignty? When it goes far beyond a property line and its value is considered as it measures our times? The rarest of trees has seen this nation be born, and concepts of property soon be reformed. I wonder if this gracious, gallant form of life would approve, or would it see us as a blight that must be removed? From birth of our nation to birth of a nation, from slavery to 40 acres and a mule, from freedom to prisons for profit, this tree has borne witness to flow.
Food solo here, and then seems to be causing a malfunction with that way they close it. Still here hanging out. Can we all scream love at the top of our lungs on the count of 3 one more time if you were doing this for the trees? Every time we put a tree in the ground, we did it, except for this one. So we gotta do it one more time. All right, you ready? Count of 3, we're all gonna scream love at the top of our lungs. 1, 2, 3, love! All right, thank you so much. I'm Cosmic Knot, Tom Hall, or Cosmic Knot, but Cosmic Knot's the musical moniker. Check it out, Cosmic Knot Music. Organoleptic music with the trees playing. Let's give it up for Ande the Elf, Jimmy on the flute, right? And I'm sorry, what was your name again? Spider-Man. We got Dan on the drums. And you know, we had Brennan on bass. We had Rachel on bass. I think we had one more drummer there, and it's been just awesome. So Wait, what's that? And it's all because of the Archangel Tree Archive that we had these trees here playing with us. Once again, this is a 3,000 at least. Well, it was just a 2,500, let's say, wouldn't you? The redwood's a 3,000-year-old tree right here. That's an actual cutting. That's 3,000-year-old tree right there. And that one's a baby from one of the biggest trees left in the world. And I don't even know if the mom's still alive, but we got the seedling and there it grows. So here we are, and we got 2 more planted over here. So, Sequoia's in the ground. Thank you for everybody who helped out. Thank you for being here, and happy summer camp, everybody. Forget Olympic music. Thank you.
Thank you all coming down here. We've been waking the farm up, having fun down here in SoulPatch all day long here. We have some more things happening, activities, night activities coming in here. We got Daniel Vivierians over here coming in the restoration station. We've got a peaceful place here, so anytime you want to come and sit with these Thanks. Let's give it up again for Tom Ball. In the trees.
More shows coming soon.
Wake it up!